Bum, 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 bum. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. OBS. Oh, it's the fingerprints. I was wondering what the hell that was. That's my PDF of the fingerprints. Yeah. I can close Gold Galaxy as well. Alright. Alright. Actually, a child of mine, can you please bring me a water?
Okay, I don't mind.
That solves that. Don't have to get up and get water now. Alright, so we're gonna be playing another. Gonna do another run of the Colonel's Bequest because I really want to get a complete run of this game, getting all the points. It's unlikely. I'm not going to use a walkthrough, and it's been a while since I played it. You know, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and yeah, there's lots of tiny things you got to get right. So you know, I'm probably not going to get it. But this time, thank you, my son. I've hopefully set this up correctly to use MT32 audio for the music. So it should be different from the last stream in that you'll hear what it would have sounded like from an MT32. If by what it would have sounded like on an MT32 you mean what it sounds like emulated by a modern day computer using different sound fonts, because it's not easy to do that. But the start music's different, so you know, I've got that going for me. That's turning on, it's turning off, right? Yeah. That should be my noise cancelling off. It's always weird to have my headphones on and have the noise cancelling on when I'm trying to talk. Let us begin. Turn this music up because it's quite quiet, which might be part of the emulation, or it might have just intended to be really quiet. If you've listened to the Colonel's Bequest music, it's definitely different than what the normal BPD boops are. Whose fingerprint is that? It's like a kidney bean. I think, no, that's not Gloria's, because she has a little circle. And it's not Wilbur's, because he has a big fat bit at the top. Or is it Gloria's? I don't think it is. First time I've actually noticed, some of these people have extra fingerprints on here. I assume from different fingers. I think that's Lillian's. Watches the games like no. Nope, it was Lillian's. There we go. The curtain is about to go up. Please be seated. Yes, I have, but let's watch it again. Because it does sound different with this music. If you need me to turn the music up louder, I'll turn it up louder. This in no way happens in the game. It's a hell of an intro. That reminds me of Toccata and Fugue. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, but it's that horror music. Look who got executive producer credits. Someone might call them vanity credits. Get to know these assholes because they're all gonna die. Except for her. She's definitely going to survive because there's a second game. Though whether she survives World War II, we'll never know. I believe the current rumour going around is this was actually written by someone else completely, not Roberta Williams, and that all Roberta did was sort of hand a general guideline to this mystery writer who wrote the game. Hey Laura, want to come with me this weekend to my Uncle Henri's estate? He's having a family reunion of some sort. You can keep me company. I don't know, I have studying to do. I'd have you know I'm a mega nerd. Mega. Oh, come on, it'll be a scream. It's such a creepy old place. You might find it interesting. Mega nerds love the creepy places. Okay, count me in. See, she was in for the creepy place. It's like 100% like fact. Nerds love creepy place. The Jessie. Because everyone names their tiny little swamp boats and has it written on large font on the side. Though I am glad we changed clothes. It's a turtle. Turtle, turtle. Am I not turtly enough to join the Turtle Club? I doubt anyone's going to get what movie that's from, what that reference is to. I'm sorry. We're here, Laura. If you couldn't tell by the jetty and the house. The Misty Acres. Man, I've got to write that name down. That's a great name for a D&D location. The Misty Acres. 100% putting that in my campaign. Well, what do you think? Bit late on that, but don't worry. It looks creepy, alright. I know she didn't say that, but she's being polite. Where do you meet the family? They're super creepy. Especially that Jeeves. And that Rudy. And that guy literally called Dr. Fields. Yes. Jeeves, don't you remember me? I'm Lillian. Oh yeah, that's right, I remember you. Everyone else has already arrived. They came by boat. Oh shit. Just say they came by bus. They're just sitting down for dinner. You two get nothing. Please come in and join them. I don't want to. I'm glad you're all here. I'm sure you're wondering why I sent for you, and why I didn't eat anything. As you know, I'm a very wealthy man. I have invested my money wisely, and have put away almost every dime, nickel and penny. I don't even know what a dime is. However, my end is near, and I have decided to bequeath my millions to each of you sitting at the table. Is a dime 25 cents or 10 cents? Except, of course, Lillian's friend Laura. That's a bit rude. I mean, I'm here. Anyway, as I've said, you're all inheriting my money, except for Laura. And you'll inherit equally when I go. Every one of you will split up my exact one dime. If any of you should die before I do, then your share shall be distributed equally to the surviving parties, also known as the having a murder house party clause. I'm tired, Fifi. Help me back to my room. Good night, all. Giggity. Bye. Can you believe that? The old goat. I'm surprised he didn't try to take it with him. He's such an old skinflint. I don't think you deserve any money. Rude. Speak for yourself. I mean, you're just the doctor. How much do you think he's got? He told you he has one dime. Well, I know what I'm going to do with my share. Your share? I bet the old codger outlives you, young lady. I wonder how sick he is. You're the doctor! Do you think he's going to go soon? I've had enough of this. Laura and I will return to our room now. The fuck you speaking for me? Who do you think you are? I want to listen to the creepy death talk more. Ooh. The clock sounds different too. Once again, I can't guarantee this actually sounds like it would actually sound like an MT32, because I don't own an MT32, and I don't exactly plan on spending that much money to buy one. But this is what it sounds like on an emulated MT32. This is the guest room you share of Lillian. Though a bit tired looking, it seems comfortable enough. Laura, dear, please excuse me. I'm going to freshen up in the bathroom. Why don't you explore the estate a bit? Why don't you jump off a cliff? Something doesn't feel right. Everybody's acting too strange. Even Lillian, who I barely know. What would Daddy do in a situation like this? So I actually thought for a long time that her dad was dead because of this. Honey, if things don't feel right, they probably aren't. Observe the situation closely, yet be unobtrusive. Explore your surroundings quietly and carefully. Try to question the others without raising suspicion. Notice small details. Take lots of notes, and above all, be careful. Save early, save often. No, you haven't missed much. This is just the start of the game. Where's she? Oh, she's going to her bag. Since you never go anywhere without your trusty notebook and pencil, you go to your suitcase, open it, and remove those 2 items. Yes, your father is right. Observing the situation and taking notes would be a good idea. Alright, we're at the start of the game, so... Look, it's my last one. My last stream. I'm running in ScumVM, but I've changed the ScumVM to use the original save and load screens. I prefer that to the ScumVM ones. Gotta make this game go a little bit faster. That's good. Alright. Can I right click? Above the fireplace, you notice a picture of Colonel Dijon in his younger, more vital days. On the opposite wall, you see a picture of a little girl. Funny, the girl's eyes have a strange, hollow look to them. Hint, hint. Hello, Tanu Kitsune, CPC Gamer, and The Chosen. It looks like this might have been a nursery at one time. Now it has been converted into a makeshift guest room with Ethel as its current guest. Ethel being the local drunk. Ethel is a stylishly dressed, overly made-up older woman, i.e. she wears too much makeup because she's the uglies. Many years of hard drinking have taken their toll on her as her face is puffy and red. She wears a lot of makeup, and yet you can still tell her face is red. And her skin is wrinkled prematurely. I don't know, she looks like she's 101. Maybe it's not prematurely, game. She always seems to have a drink in her hand. She's a drunk. You have never met her before, but Ethel is your friend Lillian's mother, which explains a lot. Ethel holds a drink and a white hanky in her hand. Where is Lillian, Laura? I'd like to speak with her. She went to freshen up in the bathroom. She'll be right back. Ask about Lillian. Lillian and I have had our ups and downs over the years, like any mother and daughter. Ask about Rudy. My nephew tries to pass himself off. Actually, I'm going to write these names down so I don't forget. Is Lillian, Rudy, Celie, Clarence. Who else is there? There's Mr. Fields. Wilbur. Never know whether it's Wilbur or Fields that does his. There's the Colonel. Colonel Dijon. He's a kind of mustard. There's Gertrude or Gertie. I can't remember what the other one's name is. The other girl. Last bit, Gertie. All I say is Gertie and I don't see eye to eye. Fair enough. Celie. Celie's been around forever. Her parents were slaves on this very plantation. She's got some strange practices though. Celie's parents were slaves. 1925, and her parents were slaves. I don't know a lot about American history, but wasn't like the whole revolution in the 1800s somewhere? Celie, Clarence. Honestly, I don't know why Henri insists on keeping him. He's not to be trusted. Henri's always been a penny-pinching miser, and he hates people. That's why he lives way out here. Fields? Or Wilbur, then? I don't know Dr. Fields well, but I don't like him. The perfect run is, at the end of the game, it does the list of... It's not... they are points, essentially. But it lists out everything that you can do in the game. This is the back upstairs hallway of the mansion. So the perfect run will get you the rank of Super Sleuth, and that is everything ticked off. And I normally miss one or two things. A lovely vase rests atop a marble pedestal. A beautiful porcelain cat sits elegantly on a marble pedestal. Two old armoires. They're important. This little line here is the hint that they move. Oh, that's different. A modern bathroom has been installed in this old house. Hi, Laura. I'm feeling better now. That ride through the bayou had me plumb frazzled. If you need to freshen up too, I'll be done in just a bit. Your friend Lillian Prune is a rebellious flapper. Like you, she is 20 years old, but unlike you, she has been known to hang out in speakeasies, smoke, and run around with several young men. She is assertive and outgoing, to the point of obnoxiousness, but underneath it all, you believe her to be a lonely, insecure girl. Today, she'd just be known as a girl. And rightfully so. I mean, she's in college. She's going to pubs. She's having a smoke. She's had a few partners. Nothing wrong with that. She's assertive. She likes having fun. She's outgoing. To the point of obnoxious. She's probably that friend you have that when she gets drunk gets really argumentative. But, you know, she's not bad. It's a pity she's the killer. I think she just needs a good kiss. You don't feel like kissing her. Fuck off. Yes, I do. Give her cuddles. If I cuddle her now, maybe she won't kill me later. Well, she is a flapper. I mean, a flapper is a specific look. She's got the flapper haircut, and she's wearing a flapper dress, and she's doing the little flapper thing with her hands. Currently, it is empty. Hint, hint. Alright, obviously, I don't know how... Well, most of you know this game. Let's take a shower. Yes, you do feel a bit grimy. Perhaps a shower will make you feel better. You might not have heard these sound effects before. Didn't Alfred teach you anything? It's been a while since I've watched Psycho. I might need to watch it again. Ooh, that's a, well, I'm loving all these sound effects that I've never heard before because I've never had MT32. If you ask me, I don't think she has any. Oh, hello, dear. Prime drinking animation. Ethel seems to be drinking a strong, alcoholic drink. I love we can tell it's strong from all the way over here. Hi, Laura. How's it all going? Are you meeting everybody? They're a comical group, aren't they? Go on, Laura. I'll be around. See you later, alligator. Mother is getting angry with you. She wants to talk with me. See ya. See you around, Laura. I love that they get mad. Are you having a good time, dear? Why don't you run along now, Laura? Go do some exploring, dear. Your friend is persistent, isn't she, Lil? Ethel refuses to answer your idle chit-chat. The game is literally like, stop pestering them. Don't be an asshole. What if I talk about Lillian in front of Lillian? Please rephrase. Oh, she's not gonna tell about Lillian? What's she done now? Why, nothing. That I know of. Because she totally has. I would 100% make out with Lillian. Because I think this action right here would solve the game. If Lillian could just have a real friend. Let's have my... Oh, I don't have an Act 1 save. Okay, let's make an Act 1 save. It appears to be a chute of some kind. You wonder where it goes. Do you like my new outfit, Lillian? What was that? Oh, shoot. So obviously that's a bit of fun. But they're talking about something, so... I had to spell armoire, because I always forget how to spell armoire, because it's a stupid word. And it shouldn't exist. R-O-I-R-E-S. Well, it's probably just ends with E, but... You pull on the armoire. Surprise, you find out the whole armoire opens to reveal a secret door. I'm going to Control M. There we go. You have found a small hidden room in the house. Gertie isn't deserving of any of Andre's money. Why, she's not even a blood relative. What are you going to do about it, Mother? Oh, Gloria, that's the other lady. Well, I can certainly talk to Henri about her and those two brats of hers. It's Gloria and Rudy. You never change, do you, Mother? Never mind, Lillian. You and I will never agree on anything. Like how much eyeshadow to wear, because she's got pink underneath her eye. Bad drinking animation. Cock. Glug. Is anyone this way? I don't think there is. There is nothing of interest in Rudy and Clarence's room. So we will use the door. There is actually a death in this room and the other one. This appears to be another guest room that Rudy and Clarence are sharing. It happens a little bit later and it's pixel perfect. You've got to stand on the exact pixel and then the killer grabs you and yanks you in. The secret panel closes behind you and leaves no trace. So you can't go backwards through the secret doors. Also, I only found out recently that pressing Control M locks your mouse into the Scum VM window so that it doesn't escape, which makes it a lot handy. It's a lot handier for these sort of games so you can click on the edges. This is the front upstairs hallway of the plantation house. A grand staircase leads down to the lower level. Might as well save here, yeah. I mean, there's nothing that can happen going this way. Watch out! Those sound effects are so good on the MT32. It's not a pretty sight. I want to sue for damages. This is unacceptable. Both armoires move. I just wanted to spy on them first. Wow. What could we find if we look this way? Oh ho ho! What do we have here? I've never noticed before. He's clearly not wearing his shirt. She might be, because she wears like the no, they won't. Oh, mon ami, I find it difficult to refuse you. I am so attracted to you. They just boned. Well, I was quite a blade in my younger days. I have no idea what a blade is in reference to this. Oh la la, I can tell, Henri. I can tell. Fifi's doing more than just banging him. She's doing a couple of people. Fifi, my dear, I do appreciate you, but you'd better leave now before we're noticed. I don't know why he's worried. It's his house and his maid. If you say so, Henri, au revoir. I didn't read the last words. There's nothing of interest in Gertie and Gloria's room. Right, so I can't use the door going up because Henri's there, but I can use this one. And I believe some of the points are using all the doors, so I've got to make sure I go through all of them. This is a cozy guest room which Gloria and Gertie are sharing. The secret panel closes behind you and leaves no trace. Also, I like that horse. You notice a portrait of a magnificent Palomino on the wall. Could it be the Colonel's horse in better days? Funny, the horse seems to have a strange vacant stare. I don't think that's a Palomino. That looks like a thoroughbred. I don't know a lot about horses. I did grow up around horses. I don't think I've ever seen a Palomino in real life. But I'm really certain that Palominos are the like white spotted ones. And I know for a fact all brown horses are thoroughbreds. They're the racehorse. That's the racehorse breed. The only horse that I know how to spot is an Arabian, because my family owned an Arabian. His name was Storm, and he stepped on my toe, and he ripped my toenail out. He's a prick. He's also dead. So no, win for me, because I'm not. An elegant room. This elegant room must be the Colonel's. You notice there is an elevator here. So I've got to come into this room as much as I can, because I need to find the key in this cannon, and I need to get either in this room or the room below, and to get into this elevator to go upstairs. Because I've not managed to do that early enough the last time I played. Quit coming in my room, young lady. I ain't in the mood to talk to you. Fifi, on the other hand. I don't even know you. Why are you coming in here? The Colonel refuses to answer you. Instead, he sits in his wheelchair and scowls. Alright, I'm going to ask about everyone. Lillian. Go find Lillian. Rudy. I'm warning you, stay away from my nephew. That actually might be a warning in our favor, because Rudy's a bit of a dick. You don't need to concern yourself with my cook. You don't need to be involved in my business. Clarence is his lawyer. Wilbur. You don't need to know nothing about my doctor. I'll ask him about him. I'm not discussing myself with you. Tell me about Gertie. She's none of your concern. How about Gloria? Oh, I gotta spell her name right. It's Gloria, not Gloria. My niece is my business. Alright, good enough. See you later, mate. You see a tarnished brass key hidden inside the barrel of the cannon. But if I try and take the key... Young lady, keep your hands off my belongings. Because obviously, it's his and we're in his room. Be a bit rude. Last time was actually probably the furthest I've ever gotten on a legit attempt. I was like 4 or 5 things away. I'd missed quite a few things. It doesn't appear that this room has been used in a long time. However, it currently seems to be the guest room of Dr. Wilbur C. Fields. It's Dr. Fields' bag. That's my bag, baby. Since it belongs to Dr. Fields, you should leave it alone. Yeah, okay. Can I look in bag, actually? Look in bag. No, not bad. Bag. Alright. She won't look in it. That's fair enough. Time to go find more of the people who are going to die. I wish you could push Henri. The Colonel wouldn't like that. But he's so funny, just like, off you go. I need this room now. Piss off. Will Gloria and that be back in this room if I go back into it? Not Gloria, yeah, here they are. They're still talking. Well, that's a nice sound effect. I didn't die. It's just an empty closet. Later on you die. You go in there and you die. This is the front downstairs hallway of the big house. A grand stairway leads upstairs. And these sound effects are so good. If you actually owned an MT-32 back in the day and you had something similar to this, it would have been so amazing. Okay, we want to save so we can explore these rooms and not move time forward unless we have to. You have found the Colonel's billiard room. Funny, he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy who enjoy playing billiards, listening to the records on the Victrola, or the player piano. Now, see, I probably don't want to go out. I'm probably going to load my save, because I want to see this from the eyes first. Uncle Henri's a strange old coot. He... Quiet. We're not alone anymore. Alright, so... What I'd rather do... This is the back downstairs hallway of the big house. Double French doors lead out back. I'd rather move the clock. You pull on the grandfather clock, and to your surprise, find that the whole clock opens to reveal a secret door. Are we not surprised? It's the third one we've found. See, this is a better way to move time forward. We'll actually see them talking. What a skinflint Uncle Henri is. Man, what I could do with his dough. So that's brother and sister, Rudy and Gloria. How rich is he, darling? I hate when people say darling with a H. Don't know for sure. At least a couple of million. Dimes, that is. If he's so rich, why doesn't he keep this place up better? It's such a dump. I mean, it's a plantation house on a swamp. The old miser wouldn't part with a penny if he could help it. I wonder if Fifi's getting any of his money, though. I mean, she's getting something else. I bet she's trying to anyway. Why, she practically has him wound around her little finger, darling. It's disgusting. Darling. Speaking of disgusting, what are you going to do about Clarence? Oh, him. I've decided to break up with Clarence. I have a new beau. A director, no less. He's such a doll. She's a famous movie actor. Or actress. Clarence isn't going to like it when you break it off. I don't trust him at all, the snake. So she's already dating and she hasn't even broken up with her current boyfriend. Oh darling, that reminds me. Remember that little medical problem I had? I don't trust Wilbur to keep it quiet. It could ruin my career if it got out. I've got to talk to him. You do that, my dear sister. As for me, I'm going to retire to my room for a while. Kiss, kiss. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I believe the medical procedure she's talking about would be an abortion. Which is pretty daring of this game, because it doesn't say it's an abortion, but 1920s, ruin her career as an actress. It's most likely that she was pregnant and she had an abortion. Because that would ruin a career back then, like 100%. And a family doctor would be someone you could go to for help. The doctor is alone reading a magazine. Feeling it up, perhaps. I can't really think of any other medical condition that she would be so worried about ruining her career. I mean, maybe plastic surgery, but I don't think that would ruin your career. Oh, I typed move clock. I can't stop her. Stop. No. I meant to type move mirror that time. But that does mean I could type it from all the way over here. I've never tried that before. Normally these games tell you to move closer. You push on the oval mirror and to your astonishment find out the mirror opens to reveal a secret door. It's literally the 4th one we've found. Laura's little hand animation is pretty good too. Ooh, we're pretty close to the final hour. I've offered her a fair deal many times for her property along the river, but the old biddy won't sell. Suchi's going to force me into taking some sort of action. What could you possibly want with that swampy land anyway? It's no good for anybody. I keep doing voices by accident. I'm not meaning to. But the way they speak is so specific. Little do you know, Gertie, my dear. Let's just say that I happen to know it's worth a great deal, and I have several rich potential investors who would back me up on any plan to develop it. Well, tell me. I've said too much already. You'll probably go and blab everything to Ethel. Of all the nerve, well, if I were Ethel, I wouldn't sell you any land either. You're no better than a low-down snake in the grass. I don't know what my daughter sees in you. Absolutely nothing now. She's banging someone else. My affair with Gloria is none of your business. Besides, she doesn't care what you think. I like the use of affair there. Because it doesn't mean like a cheating romance, it's just a literal affair. You're trying to exploit my daughter just like you try to exploit everyone else. Well, I've got the goods on you, mister. I know about your little racehorse scam. If you don't watch your P's and Q's, I'm going to tell Henri about it. Try it, lady. I've had enough of this. So the start of this game is quite slow-paced, where you really have to see everyone doing everything. Because, yeah, you've really got to start learning who everyone is and what their potential reasons for murder is. The secret panel closes behind you and leaves no trace. This is a very elegant dining room. It looks like the Colonel has some class after all. We've been in this room before, Laura. We ate dinner here. You can do the same shoot trick down here. I'm going to do it later when Rudy's in the room because that's even funnier. This old house has a nice big kitchen. Right now you see Celie washing the dinner dishes, while Beauregard has found a warm spot by the stove. Beauregard appears to be a very old and lazy bloodhound. His loose skin hangs in folds and his long ears almost drag the ground. You sense that Beauregard must be the Colonel's beloved dog. How do we sense that? Celie is the Colonel's cook. She is an overweight black lady who on the surface seems to be distant and unfriendly. However, you sense that she is probably a very nice person, just racist words, minding her own business. You have heard that Celie practices voodoo, and you wonder about this. To be fair, Sierra wasn't trying to be racist here. They're trying to keep with the tone of the 1925s, when it would have been racist, so, you know. But still, I don't feel safe saying those words. They have an icebox, not a fridge. Aha, a leftover soup bone. As it might come in handy, you grab it and take it with you. Ooh, that's a nice point sound. An icebox you'd put ice in and it would keep things cold. But it's not like a refrigerator where it would keep it cold for an extended period. And you need ice delivered. I think it's almost daily for an ice box. They even have trucks that would come around, and they just have ice blocks in the back they deliver to people. Well, I want to talk to Soleil. I gotta get these dishes done before the Colonel get mad. Go on with you now. I don't want to talk. I ain't got nothing to say. Go on now. Scat. Scat-a-da-da-da-da-do. I ain't talking. Yeah, she ain't talking. But if we ask about everyone, she'll talk. Doesn't want to talk about Lillian. I don't know nothing about him. What about yourself? You don't need to know nothing about me. How about voodoo? What can you tell me about voodoo? What do you think I care about it? I actually do enjoy that the MGM. The Looney Tunes did it as well, except for the ones that they're never going to show again. But a lot of the old collections, they have a person come out and say, yeah, like a lot of racist shit happened, but if we pretended it wasn't racist and we pretended it didn't happen, that would be just as bad. So be forewarned. Which is, it's probably the best way of doing it. You own up to your mistake and you don't try and hide it either. Another one about Clarence. What about our good friend Dr. Fields? He doesn't pay any attention to Dr. Fields. Henri doesn't have anything to say about her boss, Gertie, or Gloria. She won't talk to us until we've become her friend. Basically, she doesn't know us. She doesn't like us. So she ain't going to tell us shit. The old butter churn is empty. The game does not understand butter. I'll ask about the parrot. We haven't actually met the parrot yet, but that's a thing to ask about. Sometimes the parrots say some interesting things. That's the hint to the parrot tells you stuff. You're standing at the northeast corner of the house, right outside the kitchen. Beside the kitchen door, you see a doghouse and a cellar door. It's real creepy and dark out here. You shiver at the thought of venturing outside alone. Perhaps you ought to go back inside. Nah. Oops. How do I spell doghouse right? There's a large doghouse outside the kitchen door. You see the name Beauregard written over the doghouse door. What do you mean I'm not close enough? Touching it. You peer into the dark interior of the doghouse and look around. Currently, it's empty. Are the cellar doors open? Close enough. You try opening the cellar door, but alas, it is locked. Okay, so we can't get into the cellar yet, which I wasn't expecting. You feel better now that you're back in the house. It was scary out there. I gotta admit, the music out there was actually kind of like tension building compared to what it normally is. The smell of coffee permeates the room from the bubbling pot. I want a coffee now. I could make one, but then I'd have to leave the stream and go cook a coffee. I can pet the dog. I'll go back and pet the dog, yes. I forgot to pet him. I normally pet Beauregard after he does something later. But he can get pets. He's a good boy. Who's a good boy, Beauregard? You sure? If I had a dog, I might actually call it Beauregard. I have a cat called Manananan. So, you know, naming a dog after Beauregard is a high possibility if I ever actually own a dog. I've owned dogs when I was a kid, but as an adult is what I sort of mean. This must be the library. You see many books of various and sundry topics displayed in the bookcases. Tucked into one wall, you notice an elevator shaft. Oh, there's Jeeves. Would you like a drink? I want one. You don't care for liquor, remember? Game. Don't talk shit that you don't know. I'm an Australian. I care for liquor a lot. Ah, so you're Lillian's friend Laura, is it? You look very nice, Laura. Very nice indeed. Dirty old man. Correct. Ah, my dear, come a little closer. I don't hear well. Not on your life. You're very pretty, my dear. Now don't be afraid. Afraid you're not. Leery, yes. That's a weird third person. Giving up on you, Wilbur goes back to his reading. He turns you off. Time to ask about... I haven't seen Lillian for quite some time. I remember her visiting here as a child. I understand she had some problems a while back. Rudy has no more morals than a rat. He has no right to pick on me. You're a sick old man. He has every right. Love her pecan pie. Sometimes Clarence gets a bum rap. He's not as bad as some would have you think. Ask about himself. I'm not discussing myself with you. Aw. Henri. Henri's got more life in him than you might think. Yes, sirree. I'm not well acquainted with Gertrude. I know her daughter, though. Gloria's a beautiful girl. A desirable girl. She was a patient of mine once, though I haven't seen her for quite some time. Oh. Dr. Wilbur C. Fields is a pudgy man in his mid-50s. He seems to be a nervous type and sweats profusely. You wonder about his medical practices and if he ever samples his own wares. You gather that he has been the Colonel's personal assistant for many years. I might be able to ask about Beauregard. What about it? What about it? Wilbur is reading a magazine, but you're not close enough to see it. Okay, how about I get... Okay. I've never seen that animation before. He crossed his legs because I got closer to him. You look over Wilbur's shoulder at the magazine and see pictures of racehorses. Interesting. I've never seen that. Huh. I'm learning new things. This appears to be the Colonel's study, as a large desk dominates the room. Upon the desk, you notice a small glass case. At the back of the room, 2 large cabinets also catch your attention. The real mystery in this game is, who's a good boy? It's Beauregard. Beauregard's a good boy. So's the horse, Blaze. Fifi is the Colonel's pretty French maid. You surmise that she is probably very apt in her duties, whatever they may be. Fifi is young, blonde, and sexy. Although she seems to have a vivacious personality, you can sense a certain cunning underneath it all. I.e., she's not as dumb as she looks. Fifi. Fifi, come here. Come here, Fifi. Fifi doesn't have time for idle chit-chat. She's too busy cleaning the Colonel's study. Can I talk to her? Alright, she's not going to let me talk to her either. You look through the small glass case and notice a little silver derringer mounted upon a blue velvet backing. Pet Fifi. That is not understood. Kiss Fifi? You don't feel like kissing her. Oh, come on. She's not that bad. You see a fancy cabinet with leaded glass doors. Okay, open cabinet. Cautiously, you peek inside the open door of the cabinet. Not surprisingly, part of the Colonel's weapons collection is housed there. Within the cabinet, you see an Australian boomerang, oi oi, a steel cutlass, a pearl-handled dagger, and a mace. Oh, and an antique crossbow. Boomerangs are pretty dangerous, though they weren't used as weapons of war. Spears were used as weapons of war. You carefully open the glass door of the cabinet and look inside. Stored within is the Colonel's rifle collection. And the Aboriginal tribes, some of them used, I think they're called woomeras. They're like a stick with a little notch at the end. And you hold it, it rests along your forearm. And the hole's sort of at your elbow. And you can put your spear end into that hole. And then you flick your wrist. And it throws the spear even faster than what you can throw it. It's a pretty damn good way of turning a spear into an even deadlier weapon. Boomerangs were used for hunting kangaroos and that. Though we're not talking about... Like, you might know boomerangs like as toy boomerangs. You throw them, they come back. Hunting boomerangs don't come back. They're made out of really heavy wood. And you throw them and it hits the animal. And it hits it so hard that it kills it or stuns it. They're not weighted to come back. They're sort of weighted just to do a curve and to fly on a very flat plane. You have found the Colonel's billiard room. Funny, he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy... Oh, I already read that, so... Would you like a drink? Yes! That is not clear. No, thank you. Gloria's swan song, a beautiful platinum blonde, is the Colonel's other niece and Gertie's daughter. She seems so glamorous with her long feather boa, stunning jewels, and lovely gown. You've been told that she's a successful actress in Hollywood, although you've never heard of her. Your honey boomerangs are like aerodynamic rocks. That is very accurate. Oh. That's a beautiful feather boa Gloria is wearing. You see nothing special. Cigarette? It appears that Gloria has acquired a bad habit. Also, this music is way better in this than it is in the normal version. Talk. Oh, talk, Gloria. It appears that Gloria is more in the mood to listen to music than to talk to you. Can I ask about Lillian? Alright, she's not going to listen. It's an old billiard table. As it's quite dirty and dusty, it doesn't appear as if billiards has been played much. Upon it you see 3 balls. 2 red, 1 white. Billiard tables are actually different size tables from pool tables. Billiard tables are larger. And obviously billiards is a different game from 8-ball and 9-ball pool. I don't know if I can turn the handle because she's listening to music here. I'm going to try though. Not now, there's already music playing from a record on the Victrola. Well, time to dance. Dance party! Wow! Yeah! Throw up the devil's horns! Alright. The greatest thing is, I'm not touching it by the end. I really hope that song isn't sung by Rolf Harris, by the way. Because he's yours now. We're not having him back. I don't think you can play the piano. I think you can only turn the handle. It won't let me now either because she's in there. But I'll try playing it when I go back. You have entered the parlour of the old mansion. Against the back wall you notice a sculpted marble bar, and in the corner a parrot swings from its bird stand. And it's very possible Rolf Harris did cover that song because he covered every song in the world. I haven't been asking about Jeeves either, which is unfortunate. Add him to the list. Jeeves is the Colonel's opposing butler. Though you find him somewhat good looking, he nevertheless gives off a disconcerting feeling of secretiveness. You have noticed that Jeeves generally keeps to himself and seems to talk in little more than monosyllables. You wonder about him. He doesn't appeal to you. Upon the countertop you see a decanter of cognac. That is pronounced cognac, not cognac, like I used to say. Clarence Sparrow is a dapper-looking man in his late 40s. From what you have gleaned, he has been the Colonel's attorney for some time and seems to know the rest of the group as well. His manner is a bit on the curt side, and you can sense a bit of sneakiness here. Oh, hiccup. Lillian, she's not much better than her mother. Those two make a good pair. Oh, I haven't written Ethel down either. I'll make sure I talk to everyone about Ethel. Why would you care about that old dame? She's nothing but a cheap drunk, except for that land she owns that she won't give to you. I don't wish to discuss him, especially with you. I don't concern myself with the servants. Jeez. I never bother with the servants. I bet you bother with Fifi. Don't ask me about Fifi. Go ask the old cripple, Colonel yourself. He won't tell me about himself, but I've got to ask. How about Mr. Wilbur? Why? Are you sick? No, I'm fine, thank you. My business with Colonel Dijon is private, young lady. I don't care to discuss her. Gloria. You're getting too personal here, young lady. Yeah, she doesn't like you anymore, mate. Don't worry about it. Look, cigar. That's a big cigar. Oi, oi. Clarence is drinking cognac at the bar. colourful parrot swings merrily on its perch. You're not... Oh, I hope I don't die from this. Hang on. I'm saving. I'm saving, because this is a Sierra game. Oh, ouch, it bit you. Oh, my hand. Why would you do this to me? You see a beautiful girl and casually wonder who it might be. Funny, her eyes have a strange hollow look to them. So the only person we haven't talked to now is Gertie, and she's fled the scene, as it were, after her argument with Clarence. I mean, cat scratch fever is a thing, so maybe parrot bite fever is a thing too. Act 2. Now, from the start of Act 2, at the beginning of the act, someone dies. Gertrude Dijon is the Colonel's widowed sister-in-law. She obviously is behind the times, as she looks like she has just stepped out of the gay 90s. 1890s, sorry. A bit of a snob, she walks around with her nose up in the air and has an annoying habit of constantly playing with her many strands of pearls. Once again, this game's using gay as the, like, fun, happy meaning, not the current meaning. Which is also fun and happy, but anyway. Oh. Yes, LucasArts, by the time in Sam and Max, well, pretty much after Secret of Monkey Island, their philosophy had become that deaths and dead ends were no longer part of their design philosophy, that they wanted players to... There is nothing of interest in Gertie and Gloria's room. To experience the full game and never be trapped in a position where they couldn't, or be frustrated that they couldn't finish the game. Oh! I told you there was a death there. That's what you get for being such a snoop, Laura. This time, I'm gonna... Wait. Looks like someone dropped a white handkerchief on the floor. Okay. It's a hanky. I was going to do the whole gag where you you go through the door and you pop out and she ain't there no more. But I'll just do it this way. Did something happen in here? A small table is lying on its side near a wide open window. Is that cigar smoke you smell? The crumpled plant lies on the floor next to a small table that has been knocked over. It appears the small table has been knocked over with the potted plant supported lying crumpled on the floor. Who could have opened the window? And why? Curiously, you peer through the open window into the darkness outside. Looking downward, you think you see something, but can't make out any details. What? Are you crazy? That'd be the best way to find out how to get to the bottom as quick as possible. Someone's walking outside on the second story veranda. Who could it be? So before I go looking at Gloria... Oh, not Gloria. Before I go looking for Gertie, I want to check on Henri. Well, I can't get in there yet. I really need to pop... Like, every time the time moves forward now, I really need to pop back in there and check on Henri to see whether I can get the key and get in the elevator. Look, it's my dead father who's not dead. Honey, if you found any items you're confused about or would like more information about, try showing it to the others. They may reveal more information about it to you. Thanks, Daddy. That's creepy and weird. You'd be surprised how hard it actually is to get killed by this chandelier. It's pixel perfect. It'll take a while to get the splinters out. I can't remember who Carmen Sandiego works for. It's not Acme. Or it might be Acme. I thought it was the Acme Detective Agencies who's trying to find her. But I can't remember what her agency's called. Her agency being the one that she started because she was wants to make sure the detectives are intelligent and can solve puzzles easily. Might be Scum. Alright, I might as well, I gotta go out this door anyway, so. I've got Oggs of these, but I think I've got the normal, the ad-lib ones, not the MT32 versions. This is the southwest corner of the mansion, right outside the billiard room. Oh dear, it looks as if Gertie has accidentally fallen from her upstairs window and killed herself. Or was it an accident? Gertie's dead, alright. You see nothing special. Yes, Gertie. Ugh! Well, Gloria's her daughter, and she's just in here, so... Maybe we should tell Gloria about Gertie. It appears that Gloria is more in the mood to listen to music than talk to you. Okay, well, let's see how much she likes that after I do this. Mother? Oh no, it can't be! You're very mean. There's nothing there. And she's right. There is nothing there. Because if we go outside, Gertie gone. You must be joking. Gertrude is dead. She is indeed. And she's no longer outside. You see a picture of a lovely dark-haired girl above the player piano. Alright, so let's do some exploring, see where people have moved to. Because that's the important bit. Wilbur's moved somewhere. Because he was in this room. Oh! You can see there's a person walking outside. Right, he's not in here. Oh, the person walking around the back again. See if Sally's still where we left her, cleaning dishes. Yes, she is. She's talking with Lillian. Now, child, it ain't no use getting yourself upset. Things have a way of working themselves out. I know, Sally, but it just doesn't seem right. Oh, hi, Laura. Well, they're not going to talk to me. Lily and Sally seem to be having a discussion while Sally is making tomorrow's bread on the kitchen table. But time did move forward, so it's time to head back upstairs to check on Henri. And welcome Amy... Taint? My brain's gone somewhere else with that, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at speaking. Alright. Henri, I want to check on you. Oh, the sound effects on the MT32 are so good. He hasn't moved. Alright. Alright, no movement on the Henri front. check on the Ethel front. She was in this room. And then in the room to the right. Right? Ethel's on the move. The drunk has moved. At least it's before cars. Well, kind of. It's very unlikely that Ethel is drunk driving off of the bayou. Rudy and Clarence. Aha. Leave me alone, you cad! Now, I'm going to restore, now that I know where they are. And I'm going to move the armoire. See if we can get a better look at that scene. Rudy is having a drink in his room. Alright, so we didn't really learn anything from that. But we do have a chance to use the door to go this way. And that leaves only a couple of the doors we haven't used yet, so... Now we can watch this again. Leave me alone, you cad! Fifi, no likes Rudy. And, you know, rightfully so. Some of these tables could use a good dusting. Call Fifi back! Call Fifi back! You think it's bourbon? You know, Laura, you're a very attractive girl. First Wilbur and now Rudy. Are you really friends with Lillian? You don't seem to be her type. I.e., we're prim and proper and she's outgoing and vivacious. Come on over here, relax, have a drink. No way, buddy. She's not saying that, though. She's only saying that to herself. Because it doesn't have quotes around it. Don't be afraid of me. I don't bite. Bullshit. This might be a good time to leave. Be like that. I don't care. You've upset Rudy. He doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Well, too bad. Time to ask you about everyone. You know, I've always been a little leery of her. I'm not sure she's all there, if you know what I mean. He won't tell me about himself, obviously. She kind of gives me the... He's creeped out by Salih. He's a racist. We would all be much better off if my uncle would just get rid of him. Wilbur. You don't want to go near that old lech. He's correct. We don't. Uncle Henri and I don't always agree on the proper way which one should lead their life, but he'll soon come around. Have my doubts. I'm sure she's just resting in her room. I'm sure she isn't. My sister's a swell girl, and I don't like to have people say otherwise. Hardly even notice him. He seems very quiet, don't you think? Yes, I've noticed that too. I mean, he's just... That's it. He's... Oh. Aunt Ethel's nothing but an embarrassment to the family. She is pretty drunk, mate. I'll give you that. I know what she's after. I've got her completely pegged. Mate, you were after her. Your mum's dead, mate. That can't be true. Not mother. Have fun, Rudy. Have fun looking at your dead mum's body. A short time later. You're loony. There's nothing there. I just like setting Gertie and Rudy out to look at their dead mum. I find that amusing. Also, he could have checked on his mum. She's right there. Well, she's not, but he thinks she's right in that room, so he could just walk across. The stairs lead to a third level of the house. There is a doorway in front of you and another to the right. And this door be locked. This door is locked from the other side. This must be Fifi's room. Although her room is in the attic, she has fixed it up nicely. Ah, Fifi's in here now. Fifi is primping at the vanity. Now we can talk to her. Oh, mademoiselle, excuse me, but you should not be in here. I really like Fifi's room. I like that when you step into it, that like it fades it out, takes off the black. I've said it in like every stream I've done of this game. That would be a really cool mechanic if this game was actually like a full-on Cluedo game. Like a big open map, and like you could just step into the room and all the other rooms would black out and that room would open up. S'il vous plaît, mademoiselle, allow me some privacy. No idea what that means. I will be out soon, mademoiselle. Please, mademoiselle. Time to ask about everyone. I do not like to talk it, but Mademoiselle Prune does not like me. She always gives me the dirty looks. Might be because you're banging the Colonel. Mon Dieu, he sees nothing but trouble. Celie is always sticking in her nose where it does not belong. I do not like that man at all. He is harmless, mademoiselle. Do not worry about him. He's a dirty pervert. He's not harmless. I love working for Henri. He is a wonderful boss. I have said too much already, but I think she has her sights set for all of Henri's money. She is much like her mother. Henri should keep his eyeballs on that family. Oh, I am quite fond of him. I bet you are. It is not good that Madame Ethel drinks too much of the liquor. That makes Henri very sad. Oh. I do not wish to talk about myself, mademoiselle. Oh no, mademoiselle, I am sure you are wrong. The knights here can fool you. So I put on the fancy pretend French accent. That's such a good... Oh! And that's the only room in this entire game. And it's the... I think it might be the only Sierra game, or at least the only SCI 0 engine game to actually use that. And it's so good. Oh! Love it. Might as well save again. Because we're still missing some people. We haven't found them all, and we've definitely not moved time forward far enough. So Gloria was that way. I think Clarence was in here. Ah, you know, Polly, you really understand me, don't you? Huh? Ark, Polly, ark. I'm actually just going to quickly restore, because this will get me upstairs faster. I want to check on Henri's room. Me and that room I need to marry it. I'm sorry. My wife, she's going to leave. That room and me are married now. Henri, are you still in here? Oh, you are. Well, I know where Ethel is at least. She's getting plastered. So I will spy on her. That sound of it. Also, this mirror actually does have a very, very tiny amount of reflection in it. I don't know how they've done that either. Maybe it's changing its... I mean, it actually looks like it's just an actual second model of Laura walking backwards and forwards there. That might be what they've done, but it's very well done for such an old game. Reflections are one of those things that sort of games couldn't do for a long time, because you couldn't have too many models on the screen. You know how they all feel about me, don't you, Polly? Well, I don't care what they think, especially Gertie and that conniving daughter of hers. Oh, she turned Australian. I think I'll have another drink. Okay, Polly? Apparently my drunk voice is Junkrat. Have a drink. Ark! Drinking animation. Here's to ya. Want some rye? Course you do. I don't think Gertie's got any more to tell. Not Gertie, Ethel. You know, Polly, you really understand me, don't you, hun? The only thing I don't think I asked about was Ethel. Oh, Gloria, sorry. Gloria. What? Heck? Tell me about Fifi at all? Huh? No, she's just placid. We're not getting anything out of her. This is southeast corner of the mansion right outside the parlor. I don't think this game, the SCI engine, can actually do layering. Beauregard has gone to his thing. Aha, we can go downstairs. This must be the butler's room. Actually, it's not too bad considering it's down in the cellar. A portion of the back wall looks different from the rest. It appears to have been bricked up. Hey, buddy. Jeeves is lying on his bed. He must be trying to take a nap. Really? I deserve a little peace and quiet in my own room. Yeah, you'd wish, Jeeves. This is highly irregular, Miss Bow. Exasperated, Jeeves closes his eyes and tries to ignore your constant jabber. A box of crackers is sitting on the nightstand next to Jeeves' bed. Take crackers. You ask Jeeves if you can have the crackers. He nods his head in approval. Yoink. There is a mirrored medicine cabinet on the wall next to the sink. There's also a toilet hidden back here. That's Jeeves' toilet. If you need to use one, go upstairs. Can I... See, this one's not mirrored. There's nothing in here that's mirrored. Alright, nothing I need. I can't use his toilet either. I really wish I could. If this was Leisure Suit Larry 1, you could totally use the toilet, but then you'd drown. We got the crackers. And they're important. Crackers will help us solve some problems. Little handshake as we walk. Give parrot. No. No, be quiet. You give a cracker to the parrot. Ark! Gonna tell him. Tell him. Racehorse scam. Ark! So Clarence, Wilbur, and Rudy are running a racehorse scam. They stole money off Henri to buy a racehorse. And the racehorse has broken its leg, we'll find out. So they're not going to get their money back. So who am I missing? I don't think we know where Clarence is. I think Clarence is the only person we haven't found. He might be over here. I should check. No. Clarence might be outside at this point. I can't remember if time moved forward when we spied on Ethel either. So I might need to go upstairs and check on Henri. Gloria's still in here? Yep. Come on. Uncle Henri. Damn it. Still empty. Though I don't think I've showed the hanky to enough people yet. I might need to show it to Henri. I didn't look at Henri's cigar either. The Colonel smokes a small nasty smelling cigar. Okay. Show hanky. It ain't nothing I care about. Alright. So if Clarence is the only one missing, he's probably outside, because I've explored every room inside, obviously. You're standing in front of the old plantation house, right by the front door. Clarence! What a wonderful view of the old plantation house. From here, you can almost imagine what it must have been like during its glory days. Also, I don't think we've met Lillian in this this time period. And I know where she is. You're standing at the south edge of the Bayou Island looking towards the great old plantation. An old road runs alongside the plantation's front wrought iron fence. That thunder's pretty good. A weather-beaten dock extends from the island's edge out into the alligator-infested bayou. Toward the center of the island, you can see the old plantation house. You know what? I don't think I can solve this puzzle. I think, you know, this game's too hard for me. I'm just going home. The thick muck was too much for you. Wah, wah, wah. You're at the south edge of the Bayou Island. An old road runs alongside the old plantation's front wrought iron fence. From here, you can see the west edge of the main circular driveway. You're standing on the west side of the circular gravel driveway leading to the old plantation house. I like all these scenes have like a first-time introduction, so you don't have to actually look at the scene. The game sort of tells you what it is straight up. Looking can get you more detail, though. On the west corner of the island, you see an old, dilapidated stable surrounded by an empty corral. Excellent. There is only one stall in this old stable. As there is an old broken-down nag in the stall, you deduce this must be Blaze. Blaze must have been a beautiful stallion, but now, with many passing years, he has been reduced to an old broken-down nag. You guess that he must be the Colonel's horse. From my horsey days, I don't think you can call a male horse a nag. I'm pretty sure it was just female horses, because it's like a sexist thing. You see an old saddle hanging on the wall. This must be Blaze's old bridle. A lantern hangs from the wall inside the stall. It's odd that he's still a stallion. Most male horses, at least nowadays, get gelded. Become geldlings. They get their hoo-hahs hoo-hah'd off. And that's mostly why. You're a dead ringer, Laura. Because stallions are aggressive. You're at the southeast edge of the Bayou Island. The old road and fence have been overtaken by a rising swamp water. The owl is on his nightly rodent patrol. He pays little attention to you. It's a bit rude. Maybe I'm a rodent. He doesn't know. So there's a place I'm missing. There we go. You have come upon a run-down carriage house. Old crates have been piled before one of the doors. For obvious reasons, it's not been used as a carriage house for some time. I don't know what the obvious reason is, because they got stuff in front of the door. As you peer through the gloom of the old carriage house, parts of the decrepit carriage lie in the right centre, and a small rowboat named Minnow rests in the left corner. There is a small rowboat named Minnow in the left corner. You see an old oil can sitting on the workbench. Take oil can. I'm not close enough. What are you talking about? I'm touching it. Okay. You see parts of an old carriage in the right corner. You look inside the decrepit carriage and find a crowbar. Thinking it might come in handy, you take it with you. Yoink. I think that means we can go to the church, actually, if we've got the crowbar. You have come upon a ramshackle little playhouse. Hanging from a nearby tree, you see an old rope swing. Seeing these long ago playthings makes you wonder about the children who used to live here. A charming old swing hangs from a nearby oak. Yeah, the author, the rumor was that she actually wrote the game. Roberta's credited as the writer, but she's got main design. So it's kind of like Roberta gave like a general outline, and she wrote the rest of the game. Gingerly, you sit in the swing. Bonk. How embarrassing. I think Lillian's hiding in here. And that might move time on, and I might not want that, so I'm just going to check. You attempt to open the playhouse door, but discover it's locked. Okay, so she's not hiding in there. Oh no, she's talking with Celeste. She can't be in there. Of course. You see a rusted iron bell at the top of an old bell tower. A rope dangles a short distance beneath the bell, while a ladder runs up the tower's side. Behind a weathered fence, you also notice the remnants of an old plantations fields. I believe I've got to oil that bell, so I might as well do that now. So I can move the mirror from across the map, but... No, not Beal. There we go. Oiling the rusted bell may have loosened it. That's important for later. That's puzzle solving ahead of the game. At this end of the island, there is a small, quaint chapel. Behind it, you see an old family cemetery. This is the old plantation chapel. Above the pulpit, you see a beautiful stained glass window. Look, we don't have to insult her by reminding her she made Phantasmagoria in King's Quest 8. We can just remind her she made King's Quest 1 and King's Quest 2. That's insults enough. You are momentarily startled when a floorboard sags slightly as you step upon it. Although the floorboard is loose, you can't seem to budge it with your hands. Crowboard. What the... There we go. No. Oh. Bloody hell. I can't remember the exact command for this. There we go. Bloody hell. The floorboard has been pried open, exposing a small niche in the chapel floor. You're not close enough. Bloody hell, game. Inside the niche, you see an old leather-bound Bible. After removing the brittle old Bible from the opening in the floorboards, you carefully open it. Written inside the front cover, you see... Francis Pierre Crouton, born blah 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 blah. Sarah Marie Crouton, born 1854. She hasn't died, apparently. Though I bet she has, it just hasn't been updated. Because 1816, 1819, they're obviously dead. William Thomas Crouton was born 1851 and died 1851. That's why the mortality rates, while your average lifespan in the 1800s and earlier was so low, was that infant mortality was so high that it skewed the average down. I think the thing is, if you live to 20, you'd live to like 80 on average, unless you're a hard-working person, then you probably make it to your 60s. Upon further searching through the old Bible, you notice a strange notation on the last page. It says, Sarah, our end is near. The bell will ring solemnly on our final night, and then will sound no more. Sir Lancelot will forever salute us. Do not weep for us, my child. We will watch over you. We love you. Do not ever forget, Mama. So the Croutons and the Dijons married. With a sad heart, you tenderly close the fragile Bible and reverently place it back in its hiding place under the chapel's floorboards. This is an old family graveyard behind the little chapel. Set among the various family graves and monuments, you notice two large tombs. Phantasma cost a lot of money, and that's why Roberta thinks it's so good. Though apparently, I think at the time, it did actually get good reviews. It wasn't until later when people really clued on that it was crap. Granite slabs form the tomb doors. The graves and monuments belong to various members of the Crouton family, ranging from the large monument of a patriarch, Francis Crouton, and his wife Claudette, to simple graves of Sarah Crouton, who was 17 when she died in 1871. Oh, poor Sarah. She didn't survive either. loving the outside sort of music for this. Like, you hear the owl hooting and all that. It's so good. You're standing in the northwest corner of the house, right outside the Colonel's study. Ah, we moved time forward again. Excellent. And now we've got to follow these two losers. I can't go on with this any longer. I must tell him about... Quiet! Let's go into the house to continue this discussion. Alright, so Wilbur wants to tell him about the horse, obviously. And we want to hear all about this, so let's follow him. No privacy here either. Let's keep following him. I will know their secrets. Come on, let's go to the dining room. Yes, let's do. Because the dining room has an eye hole. So does this room, but I don't think you can get them to stop there. Once you've forced them inside, I think they keep moving. It's just not right. We've got to tell him about it. No, it'll work out, Wilbur. I've got some plans. How are you going to replace that 100 grand we took from Henri? Where would you get that kind of money? 100 grand back then's a lot. I know people. I can do it. Trust me. Someone should go to a money converter from 100 grand in 1925 to today. Why were we so stupid as to buy into a racehorse anyway? And to use Henri's money? We should have known better. It would have worked out, Wilbur. It wasn't our fault that fucking horse broke its leg. I can swear Sierra can't. All I can say, Clarence, is you better do something fast. Because if you don't, I'm fessing up. I'll handle it, Wilbur. Just don't be stupid and say something. I've got to go. Remember, don't say nothing. Alright, so we've found everyone now, but we're only halfway through the hour. But we should go up and check on Henri. Time to move forward. Time to check on Henri. See whether I can steal that bloody key. Get to the attic early. Let's save. Act 2, half hour. I don't have enough save slots to... Oh, actually, no, because this is in Scum VM, I might have enough, so I can just do save as many as I want. It's only gone up 500 or 431. Wait, hang on. No, it was 100 grand, so it's yeah, 1.4 million now. You could buy a lot of glue for 1.4 million. Nope, he's still just sitting there. What a butt. I want him to be gone so I can steal that key. Urgh. Nope, no Gertie. Rudy's still there. Let's check on Lillian and Ethel's rooms. Nope, they're definitely not there. Now that it's the half hour, I think people might have moved. Some of the people might have moved around. Lillian and Celie probably aren't talking anymore. I don't think there's going to be anything in the basket yet. I don't think that's till later. But I want to keep sort of checking these things to get the perfect run. I know that's not as interesting, but... Actually, hang on. I should check the other room on the other side of Henri. Excuse me, Henri. Coming through. And because this is Henri Dijon and the Croutons, these people could be members of the Curse of Monkey Island Good Soup family. Yeah, he's not there and the bag's still there. Alright. Nope, no killer in there yet. Well, later though. A very old suit of armor. I like that it understands the European and Australian armor with the U. With one gloved hand holding a battle axe stands beside the stairway. Although it's well polished, all its joints are completely rusted. So oil left hand. Let's free that axe up. Got a splitting headache, Laura? I think it's the helmet you actually need to oil. You carefully open the armor's visor and peek inside. You see a small metal valve handle hanging by a hook inside the armor's helmet. You grab the valve handle. You also see an old yellowed note pasted to the inside of the helmet. That's some strong glue. Curious about the old note, you read it. It says, "Our dearest daughter Sarah, we knew you would know to look in the armor. This war is terrible. We fear our end is near. In case you're not the only one to find this note, we won't give too much away. Use this valve handle with your favorite water nymph. Don't ever forget, we love you very much. Love forever, Papa and Mama." I think that's a pig's head bassinet, is that kind of helmet. If you type in pig's head, like helmet, or pig's head bassinet, I think you get helmets that look similar to that. Can't promise that though, so. These two are talking. Everything alright, Gloria? I suppose, darling, let's just get on with this game. Yeah, they won't talk while I'm in here, but we can spy on them. Well, actually, before we spy on them, let's check if we can find anyone else that's going to move time forward. Because moving time forward is sort of key at this point. I don't think there's... I think that's going to be the only thing that's relevant at the moment. But I want to check it. It is a... yeah. Some of... I don't think all Space Marines have that. But the very early classic ones did have that pointed peak helmet. So Wilbur's the other one. Alright, so Wilbur and them will move time forward. I think it's the old, the die-cast metal Space Marine helmets that'll have that look to them. Time's moving forward. You seem distant, babe. What's the matter? I'm dumping you, darling. Get wrecked. Well, darling, this is very difficult. But I won a PUBG game. Chicken dinner for me. What's difficult? You and I want to end it because I'm already banging someone else. I love they're just blowing smoke into each other's faces. That's like peak 1920s. Are you joking or something? That's ridiculous. Like, she's gonna do it in a second. She's gonna blow out into his face. Yep, see? No, darling, I'm not joking. I have a new beau. He's a director. A new Beauregard, perhaps? Yeah, well, I have to think about this. I don't think he's got much say in the matter. See you around, sweetheart. Like, she was just like, I'm dumping you, dude. Piss off. And he's like, well, I'm going to think about it, whether you're actually allowed to dump me. Yeah. And the answer is yes, of course she is. That's, you know. So we want to do Act 2, Quarter 2. This way I can kind of keep my saves a little bit to make sure I really do get to Henri at the earliest time for this attempt. It's going to be a lot slow. This start of the game is a lot slower. By the end of the game, it's going to really pick up speed. So I kind of want to make sure I don't miss certain things. Alright. Henri has moved. You remove the key from the barrel of the cannon and take it with you. So this must be the earliest time you can get the key. But I think the elevator's up the top. The elevator seems to be upstairs. Yeah, so the elevator's in the attic. So there's not a lot we can do about that. You really got the shaft this time. Because we can't ride the elevator if it's not here. But we did get the key at the earliest possible time. And we know that Wilbur will turn us into Act 3. So... I guess all we can really do is move time now, because that elevator is not going to move until time moves. And I believe we need it to be somewhere where Henri isn't. There we go. Now we've moved on to 9 PM, Act 3. The doctor is alone reading a magazine. Now, normally, if someone's in a room, you can't open the door. Uh-oh. The secret panel closes behind you and leaves no trace. Something looks wrong here. A chair has been knocked over, and there's signs of a struggle on the floor. You wonder how the small pink feathers got on the floor. They look like they may have come from a pillow. Or a feather boa, perhaps. A fireplace poker has been dropped on the library floor. Can we take feathers? I don't think we can. Yeah, but we can take the poker. Oh. As you retrieve the fireplace poker, your eyes happen to fall upon some pink... Yeah, we've already seen the feathers. There's the killer again. Laura Boa. That's good. A chair has been knocked askew. You read the name of the magazine. It's called the Racehorse Quarterly. Upon examining the open page, you see a picture of a beautiful thoroughbred named Sunny Boy. The name Sunny Boy has been circled in red. I'm going to write that name down. I might be able to talk to them about Sunny Boy. Rudy or Clarence, since Wilbur ain't here no more. Alright. Right, the elevator's upstairs. So it might be up in Henri's room. Or it might be still up in the attic. So let's go and check. Ah! That's what you get for being such a snoop, Laura. R.I.P. ... Rest in pieces. That's what the R stands for in Laura, is rest in pieces. Stay out of my elevator. Yeah, so he's not going to let me in the elevator. While he's here. So he's cock blocking me again. You don't see it here. So Dr. Wilbur's bag has disappeared as well. As Dr. Wilbur. And I'm not sure of the two places you could... a lot of the murder victims have two places you can find their body. I believe one for Wilbur is in the carriage house, and one's in the stable. And I'm not sure whether it's randomly set which place they're in, or it's just which place you go first. Or it might even be which place you go second. So we're going to go find Wilbur's body, obviously. So let's test it out. See if we can find... Actually, Wilbur might be the church and the carriage house. Alright. So I'm going to test it. Oh, he's not in here. Okay, it must be the stables and the church then. It might be Gloria that can be in there. Now, I'm really certain you can find Wilbur dead in there. So, it might just be random which one of the two places it is this game. It might just pick. Or it might be just the second place you go. We can test that out, obviously. Oh no! What's happened to Wilbur? Someone must have hit him over the head and killed him. Nervously, you look behind you, but there's no one there. Alright, so we're going to restore. So we found him in the church. Let's head straight to the church. If he's not there, we'll know that he's in the horse stable. If he is there, we know that it's random and picked which one of the two places they're going to be at. Excuse me, I just need to blow my nose for a second. And back. Whoop! I clicked off the ScumVM window though. Control M again. There we go. Now I can move my mouse around without it popping out. To the church! Well, you can also do something on this scene, so... if we stand under here and we pull rope with poker... Oh. What's it actually called? What's the game going to call it? A short rope hangs slightly below the old bow tower. There's a rusty iron ring attached to the bottom of it. Pull ring with poker. Use poker to pull ring. You reach up and try to grab the ring attached to the end of the rope. There's some broken pixels in that. But the short rope is too high for you to reach the ring. Okay. I know it's the poker you use. Ethel. Ethel must need the cool night air to help clear her head, or is she just wandering mindlessly? What the hell? I know you use the poker. Alright, I've forgotten the exact command for that, so we'll come back to that bit later. We'll follow drunk ass around. Ah, Wilbur's not here. And I believe that means he's going to be at the stable. So it's looking like it is the second place you search, is where you will find their body. So in this case... Oh no, what's happened to Wilbur? It appears that Wilbur was fatally hit on the head with a blunt... I didn't search Oh. I don't think I searched Gloria. Gertie, sorry. I probably should have. With trembling hands, you search Wilbur's body and confirm your suspicions that he died by a tremendous blow to the head. What's this? Why, it's Wilbur's monocle. Thinking it might come in handy? You take it with you. So now if we look at our items with the monocle... we'll see extra detail. You carefully examine the white handkerchief using Wilbur's monocle. much like a magnifying glass. Why, what's that? You see a small EP in one corner of the white lace trim. That would be Ethel Prune. I don't think it's the crowbar. I think it's the poker. Traces of blood on it. There we go. I think that's the only... Yeah. That's the only stuff we need. So we're in the new act, so we should go and feed the parrot a cracker. It's sort of my list of things I've got to get done. I don't really want to burst into any of these rooms without saves and being prepared, because obviously that'll push my game forward, and I want to be in control of when my time goes forward. Alright. Right, there's no one in here. So we can give the parrot a cracker. You give a cracker to the parrot. She's after me. Ark! So afraid. So that would be Wilbur saying that he's so afraid that someone's after him. And it's a her. But that doesn't mean it's the killer. I mean, Gloria is after Wilbur to punish him. So, you know. Okay. And now we're friends with Beauregard. You peer into the dark interior of the doghouse and look around. What's this? Why, it looks like a necklace of small amethyst and quartz stones. Beauregard must have found it someplace and brought it here. You quickly grab it and take it with you. I'm really liking the point sound with the MT32. This is an odd-looking place. It seems to be a private little garden, completely surrounded by a large hedge. You wonder why. No, I don't. Don't lie. This is a poor but clean shack. There is a poor but clean shack here at the edge of the old sugarcane fields. Nearby you see a small chicken coop. So, this is Sally's shack. And obviously we were told her parents worked as slaves on the sugarcane. So this is where they probably lived as well. The two chickens scratch and peck within the chicken coop. Kiss, chicken. Try another way to say that. This isn't King's Quest 3. Duh. Because that's a really good game too. Just a second. It's our good friend Sally. What do you want, Missy? I didn't look at the necklace. Oh, bye. Yeah, so that's the necklace. Alright. Let's knock again. Let's give her the necklace. Let's show her the necklace, actually. She'll probably be like, that's mine. My necklace! I was wondering where it got to. Well, Missy Laura, why don't you come in and visit with me a while? Sally's place looks quite cozy and comfortable. She's managed to make a home out of a little old shack. She has a huge bed. If you want, you can sit a spell and we'll visit. Aww. I want to thank you for bringing back my healing necklace. I've been feeling kind of poorly lately. I know you've never been here before, but you like a good story? Let me tell you an old tale around these parts. A long time ago, right before the Civil War, this place was a bustling sugarcane plantation. But during the war, this place was ruined and the owners killed. They had a daughter, Sarah, who was away at school during the trouble, and folks around here say that they hid the family jewels somewhere on this here property for her to someday find. She never did, though. Not long afterward, the poor girl died of a terrible fever. They say Sarah haunts the old graveyard like she's still looking for the missing treasure. Of course, it's just a story. Folks around here like to believe it, but I ain't never seen nothing. Except, nah, it wasn't nothing. I've been I'd be mighty careful walking around out here if I was you, Missy Laura. You seem a nice, quiet girl, not at all like Missy Lillian. I'm kind of confused why you came all the way out here for Missy Lillian's family gathering. So far as I know, you're just a stranger here. I mean, I am, but Lillian was like, come along, I need a friend. I have a bad feeling tonight. You'd best watch out for yourself. I've seen 2 people dead. It's been nice chatting, but I'm getting kind of tired. Why don't you go back on to the house? Alright, so time to ask about everyone. Poor Missy Lillian. That girl's had her troubles. I don't want to talk too much, but her daddy's suicide hit the poor little thing hard. And then you have her mama care more about her liquor than her own daughter. Oh, it was sad, alright. So Lillian got locked away for taking the death of her father hard. And the fact her mother is a drunk. I see nothing but trouble with him. He fritters away his life in those drinking establishments, takes up with all kinds of women, and spends all his money at the gambling tables. Why I hear tell he's up to his ears in gambling debts. So Lillian was mentally disturbed. She was put in some sort of asylum. And then she spent time with Uncle Henri after that. Because Ethel didn't really want anything to do with her. I think he's took lots of Colonel Henry's money over the years. I don't know why I think that. I just do. It's not really established how good of friends they are. It's just implied that they both go to college together and they have similar classes, so they know each other. And that they're close enough friends that they'd willingly come, like Laura would willingly come with her to the island. But it never, like the start of the game doesn't lay out how close they are. Maybe the manual's a bit better about that. I don't trust that doctor around Colonel Henri. Don't know much about him, but he don't seem right in the head to me. He's not right in the head no more. He had that bashed in. Colonel Henri's a nice enough man. All he wants is to be left alone. So I can't ask about Sonny Boy. Can I ask about Horse? Colonel Henri thinks a lot of that old horse. He told me once that Blaze saved his life in the Spanish-American War. Missy Gloria ain't much different from her mama, just younger is all. Jeeves is hard to figure out. I think him and Fifi could be up to something since I've seen them winking and blowing kisses at each other. I mean, that's a bit of a hint, right? Most of Miss Ethel's troubles started with her husband killed herself. But about 17 years ago. Lordy, that was a messy business. After that, Miss Ethel sort of fell apart and started in on her drinking. Fifi's a real conniver, alright. She know what she wants and she'll use any means to get it. And I mean any means. He's a good old dog. He's a good boy. What's difference to it, mate? You're not close enough, aren't you? What's she got bubbling away? The gumbo in the pot atop the stove fills the cabin with a wonderful odour. He's a good boy, confirmed. 12 out of 10. Before taking the carrot, you look at Celie for permission. She nods her approval. With that, you take the juicy-looking carrot for yourself. Yoink. It's coming up pretty close to the 2-hour mark, and that's where I end my streams. A broken arch bridge crosses a large stream at the swamp's edge. So I'm just going to do a little bit of silly stuff, not move along too much. I do love that. She just walks right off. You've got that sinking feeling. I'm gonna... Laura doesn't know how to swim, apparently. I mean, the other death in the water is that the like the bottom is too murky and got you in all the mud. Hey, there's a crocodile. I bet he wants to be friends. Nope, he just wants me to drown. I was hoping to actually get the crocodile snaps you up death. But I wasn't in the right spot for that, apparently. I like the deaths in this game. They're very well animated. It might be this one that he bites you. Yep. It's that one. I died again. I don't think you can die on the well. But you know what? I'll try anything once. You're standing at the east side of the circular gravel driveway leading to the old plantation house. You look into the well, but as it's deep and dark, you can't see much. No, she won't go in the well. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen that looking into the well image before, so that's a first. This quaint gazebo looks like it was once a nice spot for quiet reflecting. Looking north, you see some tall hedges. Oh, my throat's horrible today. Ugh. Yeah. Alright, come on. Let's get the crocodile to get us this time. Vicious gators inhabit the swamp surrounding the... Well, it's an alligator, not a crocodile then. Snap! There's a little scream there. You certainly made a succulent meal for that hungry gator. And that's where I'm going to finish tonight. So thank you all for coming. It's lovely having you all here. I'll continue this attempt at beating this game 100%. Maybe on the next stream, maybe not. I might do Return to Zork next stream. We'll see. Depends how I feel. Because the wife also wants to do something on Sunday. She wants to be involved. So I don't know what game I'll do with her. And tomorrow she's got off. So we'll probably just end up doing a dinner date. So thank you all for coming once again. Pressing the like button is very helpful. It makes me feel better when I see a bunch of likes on my videos. And if someone could say gator potatoes, so I know that you've all heard me say goodbye, you lovely people. And I'll see you next time. Dun dun dun.